Welcome to the class of Social Science for Civics, class 9, chapter number 2, part 2. The name of the chapter is What is Democracy and Why Democracy? I repeat, the name of the chapter is What is Democracy and Why Democracy? In the contents of chapter 2, part 2, we are going to discuss about the case studies related to some countries. The countries are Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, China, Mexico, Saudi Arabia or Estonia or Fiji, Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka. And finally, we are going to hear about the conclusion of this chapter. Before I start with the case studies, I want to make you sure for one thing, that whatever the case studies I'm discussing here in this presentation, you have to analyze and you have to check out the whatever the features are being discriminated or the violated in the form of democracy or against the democracy from your book. So for that, you have to read the chapter thoroughly and all the case studies mentioned in your book, and after analyzing you have to find and you have to write down it in a form of a report in your notebook. Okay, so you have to read the chapter thoroughly, listen to this presentation properly and analyze the differentiation between whatever the things happen inside these countries and what are the things which have been violated against the democracy or the features of democracy, and then write down in your notebook. Okay, so let's start with the first case study, that is of Pakistan. General Pervez Musharraf leads a military coup in October 1999. Okay, he overthrew the democratically elected government. He declared the chief executive of the country. Okay, he declared as the superintendent. Okay, as the main part or the head of the country. He then in 2002 he changed his position to the president. Okay, firstly he was elected he was being made as the chief executive of the country, but in 2002 he made it the change and made himself the president of the country. Then after that he held for a referendum I told you, where during the democratic time or during the military coup time, usually it used to happen that the head used to give a proposal in front of the public that whether you want to continue with this form of government or not, and over there the people used to give their vote. Okay, so he proposed a referendum for 5 years extension. Now, in this, media, human rights organization and democratic activist says that referendum was made on malpractices and fraud. Okay, now here the media, the human rights organization and democratic activists, they all said that the referendum, this proposal is totally based on the fraud. Okay, they are on the basis of the false policies, the wrong policies which is not appropriate for the citizens of Pakistan. Okay, in August 2002, he issued legal framework or amended the constitution of Pakistan. Okay. According to this order, President can dismiss the National and the Provisional Assemblies. Now, what had happened in 2002, whatever the Pervez Musharraf was trying to change the constitution norms and regulations and the policies, he tried to do that the president has the authority. Okay, he can dismiss any of the national or the provisional assemblies. Okay, he cannot allow the peoples to interact with each other properly. The work of the civilian cabinet supervised by the National Security Council dominated by the military officers. Okay, now according to the norms what has been changing in the constitution, he said that the work of the civilian cabinet means the cabinet ministers, okay, that work will be checked by the National Security Council, which will be dominated by the military officers. It means there will be no hand of the other general public, but the military officers are going to take care of this thing. After passing this law, the election held to the national and the state assemblies. Okay, after this laws were being made and they were being passed, after that national and the state assemblies held. Okay, before that there was no national and the state assemblies were going on. The elected representatives have some power. Okay, now here few powers were being given to the elected representatives, but the final power was resting with the military officers and General Pervez Musharraf. Okay, all the main and important powers were in the hand of the military officers and the General Pervez Musharraf, but only the representatives are having a very minute and a small part of power. So, after analyzing with the case studies of the Pakistan, okay, it's your work that you have to check these incidents along with the features of the democracy. You have to make an analytical study, okay, analyze these situations, and then you have to find out whatever the aspects that has been violated in Pakistan, and you have to write in your notebook. Okay, next case study is about China. In China, elections are regularly held after every 5 years for electing a country's chair. Parliament, okay, Congorement, Dabnatoe, the National People Congress, okay, they have the power to appoint the president. It have nearly 3,000 people elected from all the parts. Some members are being elected by the army also. Before contesting the elections, the candidates needs to approval of the Chinese Communist Party, okay. So here, the most important party that came into existence in China was the Chinese Communist Party. Over there, what they actually have to do, whatever the elections is going to be held in China, they have to seek or take the permission from this party. If the party permits for this assembly or the elections, obviously the election used to held. Otherwise, they are being rejected or they are not being held. Only those who member in the Communist Party or 8 smaller parties, allied to 8, were allowed to contest election held in 2002 and 2003. Now here what happened? The Communist Party, the Chinese Communist Party, was saying that the members who are the members of this Communist Party, or they are the parts of the small 8 parties which are related to the Chinese Communist Party, they are only being able to allow to contest elections. Rest, no other member for any other new party or any other party will be allowed to conduct election or to take participation in the election. Now this was a very typical work, and this was a very frustrated work of the China, that only one party or the parties related to that party only are being allowed to take in a part of the or become the part of the election. The government is always formed by the Communist Party. Okay, now here in China it was being said that whatever the government was being formed is usually being formed only by the Chinese Communist Party. No other party was being allowed to form the government or to take in the form of a government. Now again you have to analyze this case, okay, related to your book, whatever being given. You have to analyze that what are the features of democracy, that are the aspects of democracy which are being violated, and you have to write in your notebook. Now again a new country that came for this case study, that is Mexico. Mexico, since its independence in 1930, Mexico holds elections. After every 6 years, it elects its president. Okay, so after every 6 years in Mexico, the elections are being held to elect their new president. The country has never under the military rule or dictator rule. Okay, so the Mexico never had any sort of military or the dictator rule. But until 2000, all elections were won by a party called PRI, okay, that is called the Institutional Revolutionary Party. It was the name of this party, okay, PRI. Now, the opposition parties did contest the elections but never win the elections. Okay, now here only the one party that came into existence, that was PRI, Institutional Revolutionary Party. Okay, now in this, what is actually being said, this Mexico never faced a military rule or the dictator rule, but still only one party which was coming in a majority and always winning the elections. Okay, opposition parties were there, but when the elections are held, usually they used to face of the defeat. Okay, all the winning team is only the one that is PRI. Now the PRI used dirty tricks to win the election. This was seriously a very bad thing for the elections. Whatever going in the Mexico, the PRI used to take a very dirty tricks which is not applicable, unethical, which is not good for the citizens. Okay, it was been against the humanity concern. All those who employed in government offices had to attend its party meetings. Okay, now the first condition of the PRI must be done, that whoever the people who are being appointed as a government employee, they are being told to attend the party meetings. Okay, the teachers of the government schools, they used to tell the parents and the force the parents to vote for the PRIs. Now these two were usually the dirty, I can say the dirty tricks to win the elections. The teachers are forcing the parents to vote for the PRI, not for any other opposition party during the elections. Okay, this was again a very bad thing. So in Mexico, what was been actually been done, after every 6 years they were electing a president. Okay, only one party was coming into existence, that is said to be the PRI. Okay, that is said to be the Institutional Revolutionary Party. Opposition parties were there, but they always used to face the defeat. Okay, they always used to defeat in the election. Okay, now here the PRI used to adapt and trap the dirty policies or the tricks to win the election. Okay, now here what was the thing, that the government officials are being told to attend the party meetings, and the teachers are also forcing the parents to vote for the PRI. Now continuing with the Mexico, the media also ignored the activities of the opposition parties. Okay, they are only concerned with the work of the PRI, whatever they are doing. Okay, they never focus that if any other opposition party is doing any good thing for the betterment of the citizens of Mexican City, but they are ignoring all those things. They are only concerned with the PRI, that is Institutional Revolutionary Party, because their main aspect is to create or motivate the people or make the people more aware about the PRI works. Now sometimes the polling booths were shifted from one place to another in the last minutes. Okay, if they just have to analyze that something is going to be happen, maybe against them, so they used to shift the booth also, election booth also, the voting booths from one place to another. Okay, which difficult people to cast their votes. Now sometimes, many times it happens that the people used to face problem because suddenly the booth was actually been decided at place A, but suddenly at the last moment the booth has been shifted to place B. Now here the people of the place A are finding difficulty to go to the place B and go for the voting. The PRI spent a large sum of money in the campaign for its candidates. Now here the PRI candidates are being always in a luxury form. I can say that usually this PRI party used to spend the large sum of amount for the promotion or the campaign of its candidates. Okay, they want that the candidates should win. Over there, they sometimes they apply or form do the work of the bribery also. Okay, they give the money to the voters to vote for them, and many of the illegal steps they used to take to win the election. Now again, the same work that you have to do here, you have to check and you have to read the case study of the Mexico, and here you have to again find out that what are the features or the aspects of democracy which are being violated, and you have to analyze and write in your notebook. Now let's discuss about the case study of Saudi Arabia, Estonia, Fiji. Okay, they are the three countries, but I am taking in all one because they are very small. Estonia made its citizenship rules in such a way that the people belonging to the Russian minority find it difficult to get the right to vote. Now, in Estonia, what actually had made? In the Estonia, the citizenship rules, whatever the policies of parties which have been ruling, they made the rules in such a way that the Russian people who were living in Estonia, they were finding difficult to vote for them or go for the elections. So, in Fiji, the electoral system was such that the vote of an indigenous Fiji has more value than that of an Indian Fijian. Okay, in the Fiji, there were the two parties or usually the two types of people were living. One were the Indian Fiji, okay, who were the born Indian, but they are being migrated to Fiji. Okay, they are living in Fiji, as right now many of the Indians are being settled down in other countries. Okay, and the people who are by born, they are inside from the Fiji, living in Fiji, they were said to be the indigenous Fiji. Okay, they were said to be the indigenous Fiji. And the Fijian or the citizens who have came from India to settle down over there, they were said to be the Indian Fijian. Okay, they were said to be the Indian Fijian. Now, in the Fiji, what actually happened? The electoral system was made in such a manner that the indigenous Fiji, whatever the vote they were giving, they were having more value, more importance in comparison to the Indian Fijian vote. Okay, Indian Fijian were also taking participation in the voting procedure, but they were not able, or their vote was not considered as important or as valuable as it was for the indigenous Fiji. Okay, now comes to the Saudi Arabia. In the Saudi Arabia, women were not allowed to vote. Okay, they do not have the right to vote at all. So here in Estonia, it was being made that Russian minorities, they were not being able to vote properly, or they were not being able to participate in the voting procedure. In Fiji, the vote were highly valuable or given highly importance to the vote of the indigenous Fiji in comparison to the Indian Fijian. Now, lastly, the Saudi Arabia, it was totally a different aspect. In Saudi Arabia, women were totally being banned for giving vote. Okay, they do not have the right to vote. They were not taking in the part of the voting procedures. Okay, so these three countries have three different cases. Now you have to analyze, you have to read the chapter, and you have to find out that what are the aspects of democracy and what are the features of democracy which are being violated inside these countries, and you have to mention and write them properly with an analytical study in your notebook. Now, next comes to the country Zimbabwe. Attained independence from white minorities in 1980. Since then, the country has been ruled by ZANU-PF. The party led the freedom struggle. Okay, leader Robert Mugabe has been ruling the country since independence. Elections have been held regularly, and it is always won by ZANU. President is popular but uses unfair practices in election. Now, what actually was happening in Zimbabwe? Zimbabwe attained independence in 1980 from the white minorities, the white peoples. Okay, and after that, since independence, only one country was been ruling that nation, that country, that was the ZANU-PF. Okay, ZANU-PF, whose leader was Robert Mugabe. Okay, whose leader was Robert Mugabe. Now, usually ZANU party was ruling the country, and they were only winning the elections, and including that, one more thing was happening. What was that thing? That the president used to take the illegal steps to win the elections. Okay, to be in form of the government, always winning the elections, the president used to take illegal step which was unethical, which was not good. president was popular, so he used to take whatever he used to do, whatever he likes to do inside the country. Change the constitution and increase the power of the president makes him less accountable. Okay, over there what happened, that it was a changing in the constitution, it increased the power of the president, and it also made the president to be a very important aspect. Okay, and also make him the less accountable, but no one was being concerned so much about him. Opposition party workers, they were being harassed and they was being disputed. Disputed over here means that they were being ill-treated. Okay, harass means ill-treatment, disrespected means they were being discriminated, they were being disrespected, or they were being not allowed from several works to do inside the country, because only they have to seek the permission, or they have to find the permission of the president for the any of the work which whatever they want to do for the betterment of the citizen. But over there the leader was not giving them the freedom. Why he was not giving? Because the president was not giving the freedom, because his own party ZANU-PF was only the ruling party, and he wanted that only the party should remain forever inside this country for governing the nation. Opposition party should not get the responsibility to take any further step or to take any step against ZANU or against his party. Okay, against his own party. Continuing with the Zimbabwe, there was a law that limits the right to criticize the function of the government, okay, function of the president. Whatever the president was being doing, he was not able, or the people was not allowed to criticize the work. So, due to which he was attaining a supernatural power or something superior power, okay, which he was making and utilizing for his own betterment, for the betterment of his own political party, ZANU-PF. Okay, he was not concerned with the development of the public. TV and the radio were controlled by the government. Okay, over there again, it was the media was not being allowed to go against the government. Okay, because the TV and the radio, whatever the functions the media was doing, the printing press was doing, they were being under the control of the government. Okay, the government can check out the work, and they are not allowed to take any or give any information regarding or against the ruling political party ZANU-PF, or against the presidents. Okay, give only the ruling party version. Okay, they were being only told that what you have to do is you have to make or introduce or discuss about the work of the only one party, that is the ruling party. Okay, you are not being allowed to discuss about any other party in the media. You have to promote ZANU-PF in front of the public. You have to promote with the good features. Okay, you have to always speak a very good thing about the ZANU-PF party. There are independent newspapers, but the government harasses those journalists who go against this. Okay, now the journalists who were not in the favor of the ZANU-PF party, they were always being harassed, and they were always being banned from the work. Okay, so the media was being said only to promote the ZANU-PF party. So independent newspapers were there, but the government always used to harass those. Okay, they always used to harass those newspapers, always used to harass the journalists related to those newspapers. The government has ignored some court judgment also and went against it and pressurized judges. Now, in Zimbabwe, it had happened that the president itself and the ruling party itself has changed so many laws, sometimes many laws in the as per the jurisdiction. Okay, they have ignored the judgment, court judgments also, and they have pressurized the judges to take the decision in favor of this political party. Okay, that was a very ridiculous work against the constitution norms and against the democracy. It was going on in the Mexico. So again, the same thing you have to do is you have to check these whatever the incidents I have discussed with the country or in the favor of the country of Zimbabwe, and you have to read the chapter and you have to find out the features and the aspects of democracy which are being violated inside this country, and you have to present an analytical report inside your notebook. Okay, you have to write an analytical report in your notebook. Now let's come with the conclusion of this chapter. Okay, now according to you, in democracy majority of the people rule through their elected representatives. Why? Okay, why do the elected representatives only used to govern the nation? Why not all other citizens can govern the nation altogether? Why not possible in democracy? Because of two reasons. I tell you, the modern democracy involves such a large number of people that is physically impossible for them to sit together and take a collective decision. Now, I'm just giving you an example. You are going in a marriage ceremony. In the marriage ceremony, there are several guests coming. Okay, numerous of guests are coming, thousands of quantity they are coming. Do it possible that we can sit with those all 1,000 people to discuss that whatever the rituals you have to perform, how we have to perform, what we want to give to the bride, what we want to take from the groom. Is it possible? No, it's not possible. So same like here with the country aspects also, with the constitutional work also. It is, as you all know, the population is increasing day by day. In every country, it's not possible to collect all the people together, sit together and take the decision. So for there, the elected representatives, they are taking the decision on behalf of the representative or the people of the citizens of any country, okay, to govern the nation. Now second thing, if even they could, the citizen does not have the time, the desire or the skills to take part in all the decisions. Now that is really very important thing. That just imagine we take this step, that we take the grouping of all the people all together, but it's not possible that every person have the time to sit for the meeting. Every person has a skill to that yes, I am good and capable enough to take the decision. Okay, my decision procedure is very good. I have the good decision making stamina and have the principles to do. Okay, so here it is very important that we cannot take the judgment related to the country in a very easygoing manner. We have to be very strict and very strong about it. Okay, very passionate about it. So here the representatives who are being elected during the elections, they have the skills for that. Okay, they have the ability for that to govern the nation on behalf of the citizens. So usually in democracy, the elected representatives are only governing the nation on behalf of the rest citizen of the nation. Okay, all the nation citizens are not governing, but make sure the representatives are always answerable to the general public. Okay, the work of the government is always accountable. The public can check the work of the government at any time. If they don't like the work of the government, they can make them depart or apart from the paths of the forming government or ruling the nation, and again they can make a new party or a new people or the new group of representatives to govern the nation. So this actually happens over there in the democracy. So in the democracy, now you all understood that why do the majority of the people are not being able to govern like this. They are only being governed by some elected representatives. I hope this question is being clear to you all, that what is actually the democracy and why do the representatives used to govern the nation, not the whole of the population of the country. Now what are the aims of a good democracy? That's a very important thing for you all to know. The true democracy will come to this country only when no one goes to the hungry to bed. Now what does it mean? That where every citizen is being able to fulfill their basic needs: food, clothes and shelter. Okay, food, which is a very important aspect; shelter, home where we can stay properly; and clothing, okay, to cover up self. So in the true democratic country, if the country is a really true democratic one, so the first aspect and the main form function of that is, it's said to be, the country is said to be the good democratic country when all the citizens are being able to feed their stomach properly with good and a proper food, okay, and they go to their bed, okay. Now in a democracy, every citizen must have been able to play equal role in decision making, okay. For this you don't have to need just equal right to vote, okay. Every citizen needs equal information, basic education, equal resources and lot of commitment. Now what does it mean? It means if the country is having a good democracy inside it, over there every person has to take part, has a right to take part in the decision making, not in a form of the voting procedure only, but also in a form of getting a proper education, proper living things, okay, equal resources for any of the community, no discrimination is being followed inside the country, and the basic education also should be there, that every citizen should be educated. They should know what is good and bad for them. They should know how to read and write, okay. They should understand the meaning of ethics in their life, the moral principles, and whatever the government procedures are going on, okay, whatever the education work is going on, they should know about, they should be aware about that, okay. And there is a huge lot of commitment, okay. They always been ready to compromise or adjust with the environment, okay. They should not go for on their self-esteem or self-egoistic, okay. They should be one, they should be in a united form. They should be understand the meaning of equality, diversity, fraternity, sovereignty, okay. This is said to be when all these features are coming in one aspect, at that time the country is said to be a very good democratic country, okay. This is actually the aim, these are actually the aims of a good democracy, and that every democratic country should follow. Now finally, I am just giving you a small task, okay. Now as first task, I have already given you that you have to check out and you have to read the case studies of different countries that I discussed with you in this presentation. You have to check out the features and the aspects of democracy and what are the things which are being violated. You have to present an analytical report in your notebook. Same like here I am giving you some name of the countries with the case, okay. Again you have to do the same work. You have to, now these are the things which have been not been mentioned in your book. You have to check by your own, okay. Read, search about it, research about these topics, okay, and find out, and again write an analytical study about it. Try to find out which aspects are violated in democracy and which are preserved. Number 1, Bhutan. King declared that in future he will be guided by the advice given to him by elected representatives. Sri Lanka. Many Tamil workers migrated from India. They were be not given to the right to vote. Nepal. King imposed a ban on the political gatherings, demonstration and rallies. I repeat, Nepal. What happened in Nepal? King imposed a ban on political gatherings, demonstrations and rallies. In Bihar, the Indian Supreme Court held that decision of dissolution of Bihar Assembly was unconstitutional. Okay, the Indian Supreme Court said that the dissolution of the Bihar Assembly, the Legislative Assembly, the stopping of the function of the Legislative Assembly was unconstitutional. Okay, Bangladesh. Political parties agreed that a neutral government should rule the country at the time of elections. So in the Bangladesh, what had happened, that all the political parties agreed that a neutral party, okay, which is not from any other political party, it is a neutral party which is not related to any other opposition or the ruling party, should govern the nation during the election time. Okay, it should not be done that the ruling party is only ruling and the elections are also going on at the same time. So these are some aspects I gave you of some countries and some state. Okay, as I gave you Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Nepal and Bangladesh, these are the countries, and Bihar, which is a part of India, is a state. So you have to check and analyze these cases. Okay, so search about it, find about the aspects which are being violated in democracy and which are the things which are being preserved as per the democracy, okay, as per the constitution of different countries, and find out and present an analytical report in your notebook. Clear? So read this chapter properly. This chapter is really very important for you all students, because if we are not able to understand that what is actually the meaning of democracy and why we require the democracy, the rest of the chapters is obviously going to create a problem for you. So read this chapter properly and thoroughly. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Have a great day ahead.